James works it out. One morning on a frosty day, James was tasked to take a goods train to Great Waterton. James did not like this at all. Why should I take a stupid goods train? He grumbled. Why can't you do it, Doc?
Sorry, James, but I have to stay here and work at the yard.
Whatever, retorted James, as he backed down on his goods train. Then Doc said,
James, be safe. I heard from the yard manager that there's going to be a bad storm.
Whatever, Doc, snorted James. But fortunately for James, Scruffy was on his train. So was Hector. Hector tried to give James advice and said he would guide him on the way. But James did not listen. Why should I listen to a stupid truck? I mean, you scare engines for God's sake. Heck, you're Hector the Horrid after all. I used to be like that, but it's not no more. Whatever. I don't believe that. Then Scruffy said, James, I know you don't want to stop. And I don't want to be stuck with you either, so take my advice. And you'll be back in that one shed of yours before you know it. James did not like being told what to do by Scruffy. He wanted to be in his worm shed. He's seen Edward up ahead. James, I would not recommend going on that other track. Why, Edward? Because you might get stuck. Whatever, Edward, I'm not going to listen to you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Pah! Snorted James. Come on, James, let's take the other track, said Scruffy. James, don't listen to him, said Hector. Shut up, Hector. Then James saw Harold the helicopter. Hello, old chap. Be safe out there. Blah, blah, blah. Snowstorm, whatever. Don't say I didn't warn you, old chap. James just ignored Harold and puffed away. Hector said, James, you should have took Harold's advice and not Scruffy's. Don't listen to him, James, said Scruffy. James just ignored Hector. As James was puffing along, the snow began to get worse. James, this is about time you listen to me right now, said Hector. No, thanks, I would rather not, retorted James. It began to get later and later. It was now a snowstorm. James did not know that Scruffy was leading him to trouble. Look out, James! Hector shouted. James tried to apply his brakes, but it was too late. James hit the snow that was up ahead with a tremendous crash. Hector was cross with James. James, I tried to warn you. So did your friends, but you didn't listen to any of them. And now look at you. You're stuck in the snow. James now felt very silly. Then James's driver noticed something. There's about to be an avalanche. What should we do? Take Hector's advice, said James. All right, said Hector. What should we do is, before the avalanche hits, you make James charge through the snow. Of course, with my help, of course. No time to lose, said James's driver. James and Hector were soon ready. They backed down where the line was more nearly leveled. James went as fast as he could and charged for the snowdrift. Well done, James, said Hector. Scruffy remained respectfully silent. It was now getting late at this point. Hector said, James, we should rest for tonight on the siding. James said, that's a good idea, Hector, that's what we should do. And that's what they did. They set off again early next morning. The time they arrived at Great Waterton, it was 6 a.m. James winked at Hector. That was his way of showing approval. James still doesn't trust most trucks like Scruffy, but you trust those trucks that deserve to get trusted. Like Hector, of course. Even the big engines approved of Hector, especially Gordon.